In this video, I'm going to be decomposing a rational expression into partial fractions. So I've got this rational expression here and I want to break it up into its partial fractions. So my step one here is I'm going to take this denominator and I'm going to factor it. Okay, so let's put factor. And then I'll have the x squared plus the x minus 2. So first step is I'm going to factor this. It's going to be a nice little guess and check. Factor pretty simply here. 2 factors of 2 are 2 and 1. I need the 2 to be positive and the 1 to be minus. Okay. Now, by doing this, what this tells me is that this rational expression then is equal to two other fractions that have denominators of an x minus 1 and an x plus 2. Alright, I don't know what those numerators are going to be, but I do now know what the denominators are going to be. So I can write an equation here of 8x plus 7 all over x squared plus x minus 2, which was my original rational expression. I know that's going to be equal to something, and I don't know what it's going to be, so I'm going to say a, over one of those factors, so x minus 1, alright, plus some numerator, which I don't know what it's going to be, b, over the other factor. Alright, because I know if I add these two fractions, I've got to get common denominators to add fractions, alright, and then whenever I add those tops, that would result in this original rational expression. Alright, so now at this point, basically you just have to solve the equation for A, you got to solve the equation for B. Alright, it is a rational equation. Alright, rational equations, we don't want to have those fractions, we want to get rid of those fractions if at all possible. You do that by multiplying through by the least common denominator. Alright, I already know my least common denominator is x plus 1, x minus 1, x plus 2. Okay, so I'll write LCD here just so we remember what we multiplied by. Alright, x minus 1 times x plus 2. Alright, now I usually write it like that because it's a conceptual thing here. I'm multiplying the entire expression by this, which means I'm going to distribute it to each one of those inside terms. Alright, a lot of people will take this and write it right next to each fraction. I think that makes the problem look cluttered. Alright, now we know that these two things multiplied together equals x squared plus x minus 2, which is that denominator right there. So they're both going to cross out. Everything's going to cross out. On that first one, it's going to leave me with an 8x plus a 7. Alright, when I distribute to the second one, alright, the x minus 1s are going to cross out, and I'm going to be left with the a here and the x plus 2 here. So a times x plus 2. Alright, when I distribute here, the x plus 2s are going to cross out. That's going to leave me with the b times the x minus 1. B times the x minus 1. Alright, now this expression is the expression that we're going to use. We're going to solve this on 2 different times. We're going to solve it so that we can figure out what A is, and we're going to solve it to figure out what B is. Okay, so first off, let's eliminate our B term. If I want to eliminate our B term, then I'm going to let x equal 1. Okay, so actually let's write that down so that you're going to remember what we're doing here. We're going to eliminate B by letting x equal 1. Because if I let x equal 1, x minus 1, then 1 minus 1 would be 0 times b. That's going to eliminate my b term. Okay, so let's algebraically do that. So then that term's going to go away. So then I'll have an 8x plus a 7 is equal to a times x plus 2, plus we'll go ahead and write it and then cross it out. Okay, so if x is 1, I know that's going to go away. Alright, now let's go ahead and algebraically manipulate this before I substitute x equal 1 into the other places here. So we'll have an 8x plus 7 is equal to ax plus 2a. Alright, now let's go ahead and substitute 1 in. If we substitute 1 in there and there, okay, then I'm going to have an 8 plus 7 on this side, which is going to be 15. And then on this side, if I substitute a 1 in there, I'm going to have 2 a's plus another a, which will be 3 a's. I can divide both sides by 3 and get a is equal to 5. Okay, now we're going to do this again, but this time I want to eliminate b. Alright, and to eliminate my a term so that I can find b. When I eliminate my a term, x is going to have to be negative 2 to make this go to 0 to fall out. So coming up here a little bit higher, actually all the way up here. So I want to have room to write the final thing. All right, we're going to eliminate a by letting x equal -2. X equal -2 will make this term go away. Alright, so writing that out, we'll have an 8x plus 7 on this side is equal to the a times the x plus 2, and we said that term's going to go away, plus the b times x minus 1. Alright, now we won't substitute anything else in just yet. We'll do 8x plus 7 is equal to, let's go ahead and make that a bx, and then minus b. Okay, now this time I've got to put in a -2. I'm actually going to show it this time since it's something a little different than just a 1. Okay, and then b times -2 there will make it a -2b minus b on this side. Alright, so this will be a -16 plus 7 is going to give me a -9 on this side, and a -3b over here. Dividing by that -3, my b is going to be 3. Okay, so basically, after you get this equation, you have then to solve for both a and b, and that takes 2 steps. All right, then as a final expression now, I can write and break this up into our partial fractions. So therefore, if I have the 8x plus 7 all over that x squared plus x minus 2, I know that my partial fractions are going to be replacing the a with the 5 over x minus 1, plus replacing b, 3 over x plus 2. So long process, all right, but quickly after you do several of these, then it starts to fall into place. All right, but definite steps that you're supposed to follow. Factor the denominator. Separate and figure out what those partial fractions are going to be with like a, b. You could even have 3 or 4 depending on how many factors you had there. All right, solve that rational equation by multiplying through by the least common denominator. All right, and then eliminate b so you can find a, eliminate a so you can find b, and do that by choosing something for x that will then make that term fall out, which is basically what we did both times. Definitely thanks for watching. If the videos are helping, don't forget to share with your friends and subscribe to the channel. Thanks.